It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
NBA regular season opener for a couple of teams. Thank you all for tuning in. So happy you're here. I'm ecstatic that you're here.
And I'm
really happy that Kenny and Shaq are here too.
I miss you too, Ernie.
Yeah, me too. And in our matchup tonight, we'll see the New York Knicks going up against the Oklahoma City Thunder. And for Oklahoma City, they went 2-0 against this team last season, looking to continue that string of victories tonight. And fellas, a new season about to begin. Clean slate. Plenty of hopes and dreams out there. Kenny, how do you spot a new legitimate contender?
I usually look for the team with good balance, where one guy isn't doing everything. One guy can facilitate everything, but he can't do everything. So offense, defense, balance, and they gotta have a big shot maker.
You know, I look for unselfishness, guys playing with each other, mental toughness. No weak-minded team has ever won a championship, Ernie.
How about continuity, too? How about very little changeover from a team that was really good the previous year, may not have gone as far as they wanted, but returning the same bunch?
That helps.
Yeah.
Well said.
No need to add anything to that.
Continuity. Yeah. Kevin Harlan knows all about that.
K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
With Greg Anthony and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan. David Aldridge will join us from the sidelines. The Knicks here to defend home court, playing host to the Western Conference. And going against Oklahoma City, their first meeting of the year. They took the loss in this East versus West matchup during the regular season last year, dropping both games. Boys, here we are, opening night. Wins and losses didn't mean much in the preseason. Talk about the shift now and mindset as we're set to start another season now that everyone is playing for real.
Well, there'll be a different level of focus. Certainly it'll be in sharper perspective. The game will become more physical. You might see some nerves early too, Kevin, but now that there is something at stake, you can better believe the attention of these guys is standing sharp and at attention.
And how about us as broadcasters? We love this night.
Opening night butterflies are inevitable for everyone involved.
Now a chance, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. The starting five on the floor. So the Thunder five right now. Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair. Adams is out there with Anthony, and it's George in at the small forward position. Over to the wing. Shot clock at 5. Here's Ntilikina. Here's Hernan Gomez, and good work on the boards. They pick up the second chance points.
Kev, quick to the punch. Good anticipation by Willie, that time owning the offensive glass.
Westbrook kicks to George. Over Lee, and it's good off the glass. George has got his first basket of the night.
Well, what a terrific option he is for them. Really puts a ton of stress on an opponent.
Outside Hardaway. Porzingis kicks to Hardaway. New York moving the ball around. New York needs to get off a shot. Ntilikina can't hit. Knicks on defense. It's a three-point game. Anthony, the pass to Westbrook. That one falls coming off Anthony's feet. 6 points for Russell Westbrook.
So out of the gates, 3 for 3, exactly what they're looking for.
The pass to Lee. Pass to Ntilikina. The three from Porzingis. A three-pointer is right on target. Porzingis has got his first 3 points of the game.
Well, Kevin, how about the shot mechanics of your 7-footer? Kristaps Porzingis is efficient in catch and shoot.
Connects from 3-point range.
And early on, they look great. They've made all 4 of their shots to start this game.
And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, I was able to speak with Jeff Hornacek for just a minute. It's the first matchup of the season against this team, and he knows that they have great shot blocking. But he did say we've got to remain aggressive and continue to attack. Put the bigs in high pick-and-roll situations and shoot the jumper with confidence. They feel that's the key, Kevin.
David, thanks. Sounds like he's prepped his guys on how to handle this opposing defense.
And no surprise there, because they're facing a team that can win games with its defense. They are an aggressive bunch from the start.
No, it's so true, Greg, because make a mistake and this team will capitalize. They need to keep a tight handle on the basketball and limit their turnovers. Well, Paul George has made himself into one of the premier two-way perimeter players in the NBA. I think you have to put him in that category with Kawhi Leonard and LeBron James. He can take over a game in every facet, guys.
One shot.
They throw good, Paul George. And Doris, Paul George, capable of carrying a team offensively while also locking down the other team's top wing threat.
And that, to me, Kev, is one of the hardest things to do in this league. To expend the energy necessary to be an elite two-way player, Paul George is the real deal.
Now here's Porzingis. Now the feed to Hardaway. Screen by Porzingis. And again, New York with the triple.
Ntilikina continues to impress from deep. He's definitely showing he's comfortable shooting it from beyond.
Westbrook can't get it to go.
Oh, he'd like to have that one back. He almost never get that wide open a look.
Lee kicks to Hernan Gomez. Dishes to Lee. Pass to Hernan Gomez. From deep three-point range, no good from Lee. Oklahoma City leading by 6. And George kicks to Adams, and the bucket counts. 3-point chance here.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense. And as you would expect, Steven Adams has grown into a larger role with this team. Really came in as a guy who could defend and rebound, but starting to become more of a factor within their offensive framework.
Shooting one.
And that one misses. And Greg, with Adams, he hasn't just been given more opportunity to display what he can do on offense. He's earned it.
You hit it right on the head. And, you know, as an example, a guy that was a bad free throw shooter, all of a sudden he became respectable because of his work ethic last season. Much more nimble in the paint than most would think. Just good awareness, and he knows when to pick his spots.
Here's George. He has 5. Westbrook with a wide open look. No good on the 3. Here's Ntilikina. A three-pointer off the mark.
Well, it's been an up-and-down quarter for him on the offensive end. Mostly down, though.
And George kicks to Westbrook. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. Knicks trail by 5. Lee outside. Pass to Ntilikina. And it's Paul George with the foul. That is his first foul of the game. On the wing, Hardaway. Shoots off the screen. The wide open look here for Porzingis. Good, and the assist goes to Hardaway. Hardaway has got 3 assists tonight.
Well, this is a clear case in point of where the comparison to Dirk Nowitzki is so apropos. Not many 7-footers with that kind of range, Kev.
Now here's Adams. There's the pick. Outside, George. The three-pointer is right on target. George has got 8.
Now, Paul George is a phenomenal catch-and-shoot guy. Measures the shot before receiving the pass. It's hard to guard.
To the paint. Nice shot by Porzingis. Porzingis has got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Here's George. It's rebounded by New York. Hernan Gomez has got 4 rebounds now tonight. It's not going to go for him. George with the defensive effort. Oklahoma City leading by 3. And here's Westbrook from the arc. And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
And really setting the tone early with their three-point shooting.
Passes it to Porzingis. Adams brings the double team. Porzingis with the ball. Now defended by Adams. And the whistle blows as the basket counts, and a 3-point play chance right here. 1 free throw coming up.
And how about the body control from Ntilikina there? Finds ways to finish through the contact. Really terrific at using his size to his advantage.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
One shot.
And that one misses. Well, the Thunder are not one of the best shooting teams from outside. We know that.
Stop it! The absolute ferocity from Russell Westbrook, the rim. My goodness, how you feeling?
Special thanks to Under Armour for that sweet replay we just saw. Another unleash chaos moment. Now here's Porzingis. He's got 8. It's hauled in by Paul George.
Yeah, you love the solid screen, but what you hate is just the inability to finish.
Well, you know, that's okay, I think. Even though they missed, they still have to be happy with the shot selection.
There's the pass to Porzingis. Lee outside. Pass to Ntilikina. 6 to shoot. Lee passes to Hernan Gomez. Here's Ntilikina. That 3 off the mark.
Well, this is a tough night so far. They'd be smart to rely more on a couple of their other options.
Westbrook with the bucket.
Timeout, timeout.
Well, Westbrook's shot is so quick. Really doesn't hesitate for a single second from downtown.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here.
And Paul George kind of made it known of his desire to leave for LA after this season, but big risk for the Thunder to make that move and trade for him.
Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Hernan Gomez. Enes Kanter comes in for Porzingis. McDermott's checked in for Courtney Lee. And it's Baker in for Hardaway. Some nice passing by New York here. Picked by O'Quinn. Here's Baker. Traps in the tray. Baker's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. And for Paul George, who knows what the future holds for him, but Greg, he is a great fit, it would seem, for the Thunder.
Listen, you give the Thunder another star to pair with Westbrook, and they're taking a leap of faith here with George.
Here's O'Quinn, following the basket by Russell Westbrook. Pass to Ntilikina. Baker kicks to O'Quinn. Shoots over Adams, and the shot is long.
And he's just a tough defender. Good positioning to get after that shot.
Right, perfect contest in that instance, Greg, making it really hard on the shooter to have any kind of space at all.
Now here's McDermott, following the shot by Patrick Patterson. It's 3-on-3 on the fast break. George passes to Abrinas. The shot's good on the assist by George.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Feeds it to Kanter. Now McDermott. Looking for his first basket still in this one. There's a good screen. Cantor with a screen on George. Ntilikina can't hit.
Yeah, they got that one, but early on, it's really been a struggle for them to secure that defensive backboard.
And again, Oklahoma City with the triple.
And they are shooting the lights out from distance here early.
Knicks trail by 16. He feeds it to Cantor. Kicks it to McDermott. Pass to Ntilikina. There's the dish to O'Quinn. McDermott passes to O'Quinn. Got a piece of it. That's going to be out of bounds. The Knicks will retain possession. A chance here to assess what parts of the floor the attempts have been coming from as we look at the shot chart for the Knicks.
And you see the lack of scoring in the paint. It's one thing when you're dealing with great shot blocking inside, but even then you need to collapse the defense just to create open looks on the perimeter.
Just 4 to shoot. Here's Ntilikina. And right away they match it with a three-pointer of their own.
And that was a real quick comeback there. Both sides showing some range.
Well, both teams are pulling the trigger right now, showing great confidence from behind that arc.
Patterson, that's good.
And they're getting their points now almost exclusively from the triple. 4 of their last 5 makes are from beyond the arc.
Here's Ntilikina. He's got 8. McDermott kicks to Cantor. There's a screen by Cantor. Pass to Baker. Puts up a 3. The rebound by Patterson. The Thunder leading by 16. Wide open look. That falls. Nice feed that time from George. George has got his 5th assist in this one. New York shooting 45% from the floor since the game got underway. We've got 1:28 left to play here in the first. McDermott with it. George picks him up. Here's Baker. And it's off from three-point range.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
A different look for Oklahoma City. Jeremy Grant comes in for Adams. And Chris Dunn's subbed in for Russell Westbrook. And so here is New York. They trail by 18. Cantor against Grant. And O'Quinn kicks to Baker. Pick by O'Quinn. Jumper off the screen. Baker with the bucket. Baker's got 5.
Crafty move. He recognizes the size disadvantage, and the mid-range is close enough.
I'll tell you, that's really clever because it's not easy to get that mid-range off over a guy who's got a size advantage. He made it look easy. Boy, not enough spring in his step on the way to the cup. He actually short arms that layup.
36 seconds left in the first quarter. There's the feed to Cantor, stolen by Grant. Here's George. Count that bucket. He's got 15.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agendas.
19 seconds left in the first quarter. They set the pick. Dishes to McDermott. He kicks to Cantor. Over Grant. The shot's good from Cantor.
Boy, Cantor, if he's that deep, the defense has no chance. Excellent at getting his shot up there.
The 3 from George. That one doesn't go. And so it's the Oklahoma City Thunder with a sizable lead as the quarter wraps up. They're ahead 16 points. They have been sharp from beyond the arc, putting on a terrific three-point shooting display. And don't go away. We'll be right back. And a moment now to hear from Steven Adams as he reflects back on a life growing up as the youngest of 18 children back in New Zealand.
So, like, the youngest over there has to do everything, like all chores, pretty much 18 years of being rookie. That's pretty much all it is, and people just beat you up for no reason.
Hard to imagine growing up in such a huge family, but it sounds like maybe it prepared him for life in the NBA.
Yeah, I'd say it might have toughened him up a little bit, that's for sure. Wow, 18? That is mind-boggling.
Welcome back, folks. We'll see if we're in store for a more tightly contested quarter as we move here into the second. And for the Thunder here, they've been putting on a show, guys.
Through that first one, they've turned this thing into a track meet.
I'll tell you, they've simply been more assertive in the open floor. They're leaking out early, converting with confidence.
We've got Ntilikina, Baker out there with Enes Kanter. Then it's McDermott, and it's Kuzminskas in at the power forward. They're the group New York will start the second with.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Well, Jeff Hornacek was chosen to be the head coach of the New York Knicks with the understanding that the triangle offense would be part of the system put in place. Now with the change in the front office, that is no longer the case, guys.
Foul on the play, basket counts, so it'll be a three-point play chance.
Kev, that is the strength of Enes Kanter on display. This guy is so good at staying with his shot, even when there's bodies around him.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And taking a look back at his performance at the line a year ago, a rock solid 79%.
One shot, gentlemen.
Doris, what an honor. Inducted into your college's Hall of Fame, something not many of us can say. What does that kind of honor do for the confidence for you personally going forward?
You know what? Providence College is a place that means a great deal to me. So what that Hall of Fame induction did was just remind me of all the special memories that I shared with my teammates. I'm close with many of them today. And Kevin, you know this. You know, if you've ever been inside a locker room, it's those moments when you're laughing until your stomach hurts. I'd say we were the Hall of Fame fun team. That's what I'd say.
I think we're on the fun team here on 2K. A different look for New York. Noah comes in for Kanter. And Hardaway is subbed in for Ntilikina. And a switch here also for Oklahoma City. Anthony's checked in for Paul George. Now, here's Grant. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Step back shot. Anthony's shot is off. Knicks trail by 14. Here's Baker. He's got 5. In the corner, Hardaway with it. Buries it from three-point range. Hardaway has got 6.
That's an example of great communication. He knows the spot to get to, and the pass is waiting for him.
Passes it to Abrinas. That's in there. Anthony with the assist. Anthony's got his 4th assist in this one.
You know, you love your star players making others better, and Melo with the vision there.
Here's Kuzminskas. Baker kicks to Kuzminskas. And they call an illegal screen here.
And had the right idea there in calling for the screen, but he was just slow to get to the spot and didn't get set.
Yeah, just a matter of he needs to be there a split second earlier. Not much room for error when you're setting a screen.
The Knicks making a switch here. Lee's checked in. Andre Robertson, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. Out to the right wing. Here's Patterson. Drills it from outside. He's got 8.
Defensively, they just look out of sync, not closing out on the threes in time.
New York calls timeout.
Yeah, you can't let this kind of run continue. Really need to go back to the basics.
No, exactly. I think it's impossible to let this momentum continue. Let's see what they can come up with in the timeout.
And taking a look at some of the stats here for Lee, how he performed last season. Last season chipped in 11 points per game, 3 rebounds and 2 assists. And those numbers solid, not spectacular, and sometimes what you see is what you get.
There's no doubt. This is a guy who understands his role, knows he's got to give you quality minutes, and that's what they expect from him.
Nice timing to get up on that shot.
Boy, you can't ask for better defense, Greg. Excellent work getting right into the grill of the shooter.
Here's Kristen. Back to Anthony. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
You know, you just look back on the way Melo's game has evolved over his career. Certainly a couple of changes. He uses an outside shot far more often now that he is more comfortable with his 3. And not as many fouls drawn, but he still does a really good job attacking the rim.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
And he makes the first. And think about Melo's game over the years, Doris. He's made adjustments, but overall he has remained incredibly consistent in what his strengths are.
Well, this guy is a tremendous scorer from the mid-range. You can post him on the low block. You certainly don't score 20 points per game every season in your career without having multiple tools at your disposal.
Porzingis, he's checked in for Kuzminskis. So after making the first, he goes 1 for 2.
You know, Carmelo Anthony, problematic for the defense. He spends so much time at the line, keeps you on a string.
Noah the screen. Will it go? And the shot goes in. Baker's got 7.
Boy, ran his man right into the pick and got the open look. Basketball 101.
Anthony dishes to Grant. Back to Anthony. Teardrop shot. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2. It's on Porzingis.
You know, it's kind of cool looking back at the career Carmelo Anthony has enjoyed. He helps his college team to their first ever title. He's a 10-time All-Star in the NBA. And the list just keeps on going for Melo. It's awesome.
Two.
The first free throw is good. And Doris, everyone's going to want Melo to deliver and win a title, but he's done so much and won at so many different levels, he shouldn't have anything else left to prove.
No, I couldn't agree more, Kev. He's a proven scorer at the NBA level. He's got multiple golds in international play. And Melo just one of 3 guys to score 10,000 points with 2 different teams. Elvin Hayes and Kareem are the only 2 others. You know, it seems a little to me like the mystique of this building that the Knicks call home can be overwhelming at times, right? So many great games played here, perhaps the most iconic floor in all the NBA.
Screen by Lee. And the pass to Hardaway. Porzingis sets the pick for Hardaway. Clock is at 3. Porzingis kicks to Baker. Good on the triple. Baker's got 5 points now this quarter.
What a fantastic game he's had on the offensive end. If only his teammates could keep up.
And with this mecca of basketball, there certainly have been more than a few incredible moments that played out in front of these fans. Doris, growing up a Knicks fan as you have, what great moments stick out to you most in this terrific building?
Well, there's so many to choose from, whether it was Allen Houston's floater in the lane, Willis Reed coming out of the tunnel to play in Game 7, or, of course, Patrick Ewing leading the Knicks to the NBA Finals in 1994.
Here's Anthony, and again it's Oklahoma City.
And he has really come to life here after a slow start in that first quarter.
Baker kicks to Porzingis, pass to Baker. New York moving it around. Pick by Lee. Hardaway with a wide open look. And the Knicks hit again from deep.
And started hot, and he's only gotten harder.
Here's Kristen, outside Anthony, fires from deep, and again Oklahoma City with the triple.
Wow, unconscious has he been this quarter. They're riding that hot hand.
New York calls timeout. Greg, you watch the Thunder play, and it's clear that this team comes out looking to attack. Everyone on the team wants to put it on the floor and go right at the rim.
And part of that is their leader, Westbrook, just setting the tone. I mean, team finished near the top in points in the paint last season, and the addition of Paul George just helps to enforce that strength.
Hernan Gomez is checked in for New York. Now here is Hardaway. 9 points in the game so far. With the floater, and it's good on the layup. Hardaway has got 8 points here in this quarter.
Well, I'll tell you, it takes a lot of confidence to go with the floater. That is not as easy as it looks.
To the inside, Roberson. It's deflected. Here's Baker. He's covered by Westbrook. Right side, Porzingis. Beyond the arc. And again, New York with the triple.
They're getting a lot of their points outside the paint. 3 of their last 5 baskets are from three-point range.
Whistle on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
Russell Westbrook is an elite talent. He knows how to make tough shots.
And one thing you have to say about Russell Westbrook, he is an absolute star. I mean, the type of player you can build around and win with. Just the total package on the offensive end of the floor.
The numbers Westbrook put up last season in his MVP run, Greg, just staggering.
And you figured his numbers would get a bump, but I don't think anybody could have expected this guy to average a triple-double. I mean, arguably the most impactful superstar in the league.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. The Knicks have shot 2 free throws, and they're 1 of 2 so far.
And look back a season ago. They did a solid job at the line, about 79% of their free throws.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
And the first one drops.
And Tim Hardaway Jr., the son of a former all-star point guard. Junior, not maybe the same ball handler his father was, but he can sure fill it up. And I really feel like he's established his niche in the NBA.
Hardaway hits them both. And Hardaway Jr., a 6'6" shooting guard out of Michigan. Talk about his game a little bit for us, Greg. Analyze where he is.
Above average in terms of his athletic ability, improving defensively, and right now he's playing off the ball, whether spotting up or filling the lane. I think this guy's got a chance to be special. He's passionate, and boy, does he compete.
It's hauled in by Adams.
Boy, great job protecting the rim and turning an easy layup into a missed opportunity.
And Robertson has it in the corner. And that comes off the assist by Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got his 3rd assist on the night. Knicks trail by 18. Baker passes to Hernan Gomez. Lee with the ball. Now Anthony defending. There's the screen. Adams against Porzingis. From deep. Baker, no good. The Thunder leading by 18. Here's Grant. Porzingis with the block.
Porzingis so fast off the floor when he challenges a shot. Helps him get a lot of blocks like that one.
For New York, they've gone 8 of 13 in the second quarter. Well above the 50% mark from the field. Baker kicks to Porzingis. Floats one up. And Adams sends it back. Here's Roberson. Guarded by Hardaway. Feeds it to Anthony. Outside Westbrook. Puts it up from 12. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. Westbrook's got 5 points in the quarter.
And when they've gone to him, he has come through big time. You got to keep getting him touches.
Outside Hardaway. Inside. And he dunks it after the pick frees him up.
And this is what the coaches want to see more of from Willie. Attacking the rim with big-time attitude.
They set the screen. Off the screen, and again it's Russell Westbrook. Westbrook's got 26.
Didn't have any problem knocking that one down. Another defensive lapse leading to 2 more.
You know, and that was a nice find by KP. Saw the open man. He was on time, on target with the pass. Perfect.
Timeout is called. First of the game for the Thunder. Doris, you've seen the game from many different angles. If you were a general manager, what would you look for if you were hiring a coach?
You know, it seems to me one of the most important aspects of being a head coach in the NBA, your ability to be a people person, to relate, to pull the strings that motivate different types of players. You know, I look at someone like Steve Kerr, who seems to have such a great feel for the pulse of his team, that seems to understand the players who respond well to sort of him getting in their grill. The other players who maybe need to be pulled aside privately because pride is in play. Listen, everybody has X's and O knowledge as a head coach in the NBA, or they wouldn't be in that position. To me, it's as much about managing egos and minutes and being a good person and invested in those players as it is the X and O's.
Have you ever seen a great coach who wasn't also a great communicator in their own way?
No, I think communication may be the #1 skill aside from obviously basketball acumen.
And Adams sends it back.
And the defense of Steven Adams is so important to this team. They depend on him to be a rim protector now.
It's stolen by Hernan Gomez. Here's Hardaway. Abrinas with a rebound. Oklahoma City leading by 20. Anthony right side. That's good, and it's his 4th basket of the game. He's a strong 4 for 6.
Boy, this guy has been transcendent this quarter. Something really lit a fire underneath this guy.
Kicks to Cantor from the wing. And yep, couple bounces, and it falls. Cantor's got 7 now in this quarter.
You must crowd Cantor when he is in the mid-range. He is a knockdown shooter.
Westbrook passes to Abrinas. Good. A nice assist from Westbrook. Westbrook's got 4 assists now tonight.
He can be a forgotten man in their offense sometimes, but the D still has to keep an eye on him.
There's a screen by Cantor. Here's Ntilikina. 8 points for him. And there's the 3-second violation. And now a chance to take a look at the shot chart for the Thunder.
This is the shot chart of a dominant performance. I mean, he's taking a lot of shots because right now he believes that every shot he does take is going in. And who can blame him with the way he's played? Simply outstanding work coming from him.
The Thunder leading by 23. Westbrook kicks to Adams. Screen by Adams. Puts it up from 12. Rebounded by Hardaway. New York's gone 4-7 on 3-point shots in the second quarter. Kept alive, Cantor. Oh, yes, he did. 5 up and 5 down for him so far.
And that keeps him perfect from the field this quarter.
George dishes to Westbrook. Back to George. And George with the stuff.
And plays like that demonstrate Paul George's athletic ability. He's not just an elite scorer, he is a high flyer.
1 second separating the shot clock and game clock.
And that's how you make a steal count. Turn it into a quick slam at the other end.
It was really a case, it looked like Greg Anthony right there, if I can say so. It was really a case of a great defensive play triggering some instant offense.
Yeah, and he was so quick to break on that one. A good sign that he read the play.
There's a screen by Cantor. Hardaway for 3. Sinks the three-pointer. Hardaway has got 13 points in just this quarter.
I tell you, Ntilikina has his head on a swivel, always looking to find the open teammate.
And through one half, it hasn't even been close. Oklahoma City out in front, running away with it. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Russell, how confident are you that there's nobody that can stay in front of you?
Very confident. I have a lot of confidence in myself. I put a lot of work in the summertime, and I'm very confident.
That is never a problem for you, Russ. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
And welcome to halftime. Hey, what a fantastic time of the year. NBA season getting underway.
I'm excited. I am really excited. I am really, really excited, honey.
There was no stopping Russell Westbrook in the first half. He ended up with 28 points, 5 assists, and 4 rebounds. He has bounced back nicely from what was a tough night for him in their last game. Judging by that first half, he's back to his old self again. Kenny, let's get your take on Oklahoma City.
Westbrook, he's crushing it. No one can stop him. One of the biggest improvements in his game, shooting consistency. And then you have the intimidation factor. Rare to find in a guard who can attack the rim with such violence.
And Shaq, what are your thoughts on New York?
Not pretty to watch how they get torched in the low post, Ernie. When they were playing defense in the post, you know me, Ernie. Barbecue chicken alert, barbecue chicken alert. This team is going to have to up the pressure, play more physical in the second half, start a fight, throw some bowls, let's go.
And time now to send you back down to the floor with Kevin Harlan. We'll see you later.
Welcome back to New York City. Some street art on the wall of the Canal Street subway station in Soho, south of Houston, just down the way from us. Well, we're getting back to the action now. It's been a one-team show so far. We'll see if that changes here in the third. Well, you look at Russell Westbrook in this game. He has been everywhere.
Well, they've done a good job of letting the game come to them and really few forced shots here so far.
I think, Greg, we're seeing a couple things. Terrific play calling, unselfish nature, and quality shooting. That makes for good offense.
And as we begin the second half, first half wasn't even close, guys, and we'll see if there is a comeback on our hands or more of the same as we get the third quarter started. So the Thunder 5 right now. Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair. Anthony is out there with Paul George, and it's Adams in at center. Now here is Hardaway. Pass to Porzingis. It's stolen by Adams. It's George on the wing, covered by Lee. Ball's knocked loose, but he recovers it. And George kicks to Westbrook. Second chance shot, and count it. And a chance for one more at the free throw line.
You know, no surprise to see the hoop and the harm. Melo with the beautiful touch. Well, obviously, the biggest impact Steven Adams has for this team is his ability to be a defensive force in the middle. This guy carves up space, takes away any would-be penetrators, solid rim protection, just an unbelievable guy on the interior.
One shot.
That's good from Anthony. More on Adams, Doris. Not only is he a shot-blocking presence, but also will come up with a good amount of steals for a big man.
And that's an area, Kev, where Adams has really improved recently. For his size, he's got great agility and great anticipation in the paint. And I like that there's no hesitation to rotate and challenge any player he switches onto.
And Lee with the stuff.
Yeah, simply can't lose sight of Lee when he's close to the hoop. Certainly has the ability to rise up and slam it home.
Westbrook passes to Anthony. Here's Robertson. That three off the mark. The Knicks shooting an efficient 53% from the field. Stolen by George. Unloads from 13. No good off the back of the rim.
Boy, what a cold start to the second half for them. Just 1 for 4 from the field so far.
Porzingis kicks to Lee. He dishes it to Hardaway. They set the pick. New York moving it around. 5 on the clock. Screen by Lee. Here's Ntilikina. And the miss, not the best shot selection there. The Thunder leading by 23. Porzingis with the steal. Outside Hardaway. To the inside. The 9-foot shot. Offensive rebound. For Oklahoma City, they've gotten just one of their first 4 shots to fall since coming out of the locker room at the break. The Thunder with another miss.
Tough start to the second half. Just 1 for 5. Wow.
Passes it to Hernan Gomez. Outside Hardaway. He feeds it to Lee. There's the pass to Hernan Gomez. Lee with the ball. George picks him up, and there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
And here's a look at some stats for Westbrook. He's coming off an excellent season. He was around 31 points per, 10 assists, and 10 rebounds. And when he takes over at the point, he really keeps the offense flowing.
Well, this is a guy who brings a solid skill set. Excellent ball handler, high level of playmaking, the perfect backup point. Well, the struggles from the field continue for this guy. The way it's going, he shouldn't be more than a secondary option for them at this point.
Pass to Ntilikina. Hardaway kicks to Porzingis. Yes, and it's Hardaway picking up the assist. And that's 13 points for Porzingis.
Oh, guys, you have got to love those long strides. KP able to cover some ground on his way to the rim.
Excellent use of the screen that time.
And that's why it's so important to really be a good screening team. You get a lot of open looks from it.
New York calls timeout.
Boy, what about last season for Russell Westbrook? Not only the numbers he put up, but the jaw-dropping plays he delivered, and he helped this Thunder team to a season where many thought they'd be out of the playoff picture. He gets them into the playoffs. Incredible journey.
The Knicks making a switch here. O'Quinn's checked in. And Oklahoma City also making a switch. Patterson's checked in. Nice shot by Porzingis.
Oh, that's a good, strong finish. Porzingis not shying away from getting in there and getting after it.
There's the pick. And Roberson kicks to Adams. The dish to George. Takes the 3. It's rebounded by New York. Porzingis has got his 5th rebound in this one. And for Westbrook, you have to look at his season in a historical context. It was so great. Doris, his contributions to his team in every facet of the offense and how much his team depended on him from start to finish.
You're correct, Kevin. And it's not just the average of a triple-double, right? It went beyond that. It was his competitive spirit and a willingness to absorb the loss of an all-time great player, put his team on his back, and get them back to the playoffs. Truly incredible.
So it's the Thunder now, following the miss by Porzingis. Here's Roberson, guarded by Hardaway. In the corner, it's Patterson to the right side. It's Westbrook with the drive, and the shot no good, a bit short.
Well, he carves out the space he needs, just the finish was not good.
In the corner, Hardaway with it. Picked by O'Quinn. Pass to Ntilikina to the middle. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Doris, with so many one-and-dones entering the NBA, do you think expectations are too high for these guys, especially from the fans?
I don't, Kevin. I think it depends on the talent that we're talking about. You know, I know Joel Embiid is a guy who didn't necessarily start right away, but when he was finally able to be healthy, it certainly didn't take him long to become a factor on the NBA level. No, I don't think the expectations are too high. I think these guys are accustomed to expectations, and frankly, their personal expectations are probably higher than ours.
I mean, look at the elite of these high school kids have been playing like in front of big crowds on a big stage for so long. It's second nature to them, don't you think?
No doubt about it, Kevin.
And that one falls for O'Quinn.
What we have watched these first few seasons of his career is a steady improvement at the line for O'Quinn. He is showing he can knock them down consistently.
Catching up on the changes for New York, Kuzminskis comes in for Courtney Lee. And it's Baker in for Hardaway. And a switch here also for Oklahoma City. Chris Dunn's checked in for Russell Westbrook.
Well, you just look back on the history of the New York Knicks and what rich history and tradition they have as a franchise, the different eras, the different groups they've had, some of the more memorable teams in NBA history.
Here's Kristen, screened by Adams. Kristen, the pass to Adams, lays it up off the glass. Adams has got his second basket of the night.
Well, the size and the frame of Steven Adams is flat out intimidating. A high percentage scorer around the blocks.
And thinking back to great players and teams from the Knicks, Doris, you can look at teams in any decade and find memorable players.
Well, listen, if you're talking about the 1970s, it's Willis Reed. You're talking about the 80s and 90s. You're talking about Bernard King, Patrick Ewing, Allen Houston, the great Pat Riley at the helm. And more recently, you're talking about the likes of Carmelo Anthony. The Knicks have had some ballers in their history.
Here's Patterson after New York gets the three. Patterson, the screen. They set the screen. And Adams kicks to Kristen. While we have the time, let's take a look at last season's best transition teams. In third, the Thunder.
Yeah, I mean, it's a crowd-pleasing style, right? I mean, this club just got out and ran at every possible chance.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
No good on the free throw.
Boy, guys, how about the offseason the Oklahoma City Thunder had? The acquisition of Paul George, one of the elite two-way players in the game, now playing alongside Russell Westbrook. Look out, everybody.
Looking at who's out there now for the Knicks. Joakim Noah's checked in for Porzingis, and Tim Hardaway Jr. subbed in for Baker. Knicks trail by 20. At the top of the key, O'Quinn. Pass to Kuzminskis. Picked by O'Quinn. Now the feed to Hardaway. Tries it from 9. A second chance effort. The shot's good from O'Quinn.
Boy, you got to give it to the big fella from Norfolk State. O'Quinn making his presence felt on the second chance opportunities.
Here's the screen. Kristen, the pass to Adams. Here's Roberson. The Thunder with another miss.
And he's been way off the mark this quarter. It's been ugly.
Here's Kuzminskis. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. Noah the screen, pass to Ntilikina. His first shot coming late. Kuzminskis, no good. Oklahoma City leading by 18. Outside, George. And Robertson has it in the corner. No good from outside.
He needs to look to try to drive inside and get going. That outside shot is simply not there.
Out left to the wing. Noah the screen. Here's Kuzminskis. Lays it up and banks it in. Kuzminskis has got his first points in this one.
I know how popular threes are in the NBA, but boy, you can't do better than those quality looks in the low post.
And Kristen kicks to George. He's off on that one. The Knicks go the other way with it. Here's Kuzminskis, defended by George. Shot from 12. Kuzminskis, no good.
And why take that contested shot? I mean, make the extra pass.
Well, that's a head scratcher. When the defense is in your grill, move the ball.
And let's see some of the numbers here for Paul George. Coming off a terrific season. 5th for free throw percentage, 14th in steals, and he ranked in the top 15 in points per game. One of the league's premier offensive threats.
Take a break.
And yeah, he was money from the charity stripe.
Shots.
Only a handful of players shot a better percentage last season. Tremendous asset. And he can't get the first one.
And coming out of the offseason where the Knicks had a really long to-do list, you knew they were going to shake things up and made some moves in free agency and realized they needed to build around Porzingis going forward.
Cantor checked in for the Knicks. McDermott comes in for Kuzminskis. Good on the second free throw. And change was needed badly for the Knicks, and they did that starting with the front office.
Yeah, Knicks fans can have a dire outlook at times, but
The team still has a solid foundation. It will take some time for the team to become a true contender again, but having players not be at odds with the front office, definitely a good start.
Now here's Hardaway. 16 points for him. McDermott can't get it to go. The shot by George, wide open. Cans it from downtown. George has got 20.
His first triple of the second half. That makes 3 for the game.
Cantor kicks to McDermott. And they wasted no time getting those 3 points back.
Well, we know that McDermott came into the league with a reputation as a dead-eye shooter. Get your hands up and contest or he'll make you pay.
Now, here's George. 20 points for him. In the corner, it's Patterson. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Knicks trail by 17. Here's Ntilikina. 11 points in the game. Dishes to McDermott. Cantor sets the pick for McDermott. George with the defensive effort. The Thunder leading by 17. Here's Abrines. Cans it from downtown. Abrines has got 12 in the game.
Another one. Man, he's just gotten into a great rhythm out there.
You're just assuming at this point every shot he takes it's going to go in. What a shooting performance.
Now here's Hardaway. New York moving it around. McDermott kicks to Cantor. Pass to Ntilikina. Unloads. Busts the J after the cagey pass fake. Ntilikina's got 5 points now in the quarter.
And you know, sometimes there just really isn't a defense for Ntilikina. He does a phenomenal job keeping that high release on his shot when the D is near.
And that one's good, George.
The defense is far too slow to close out on those three-point attempts.
Up top, Cantor. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. And Greg, with Enes Kanter last season, he had to miss significant time with the broken hand, but his offensive game is something to watch when he's healthy.
He just plays hard. He provides that instant offense off the bench, a great array of post moves to pick from.
Two shots. Relax on the first.
That's good from Cantor. And Doris, you look at the Knicks team, and clearly the future is going to be built around Porzingis.
Well, and you think back to the Knicks mortgaging away their future at times to make a run at the playoffs, but I think it's now time to build from the ground up. They've got some draft picks to work with going forward, and though it may not be immediate, Porzingis is a nice centerpiece to build around. Well, Kev, you have to love how Enes Kanter plays with his back to the basket. This guy is so efficient. He is one of the most productive big men off the bench, the kind of player every coach would love to have to get a little juice in your second unit.
Now here is Hardaway. Following the miss by Russell Westbrook. Over in the corner, Lee. There's a screen by Kanter. Off the pick. The rebound by Paul George. George has got 6 rebounds in the game. Doris, as you said, Kanter has thrived as a sixth man. His ability to score on the block, he can carry an offense of a second unit.
Yeah, a lot of how Kanter scores is with his incredible footwork. He is great at sealing off a defender to get the shot he wants, and he's also a very strong finisher.
Here's Abrines, guarded by Hardaway. Here's Westbrook. Patterson dishes to Westbrook. Back to Patterson. And it's Patterson finishing it off.
Well, you have to get something out of that possession, and thanks to Patterson's work on the glass, heads-up play to score that.
6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Pass to Ntilikina. He kicks it to Kanter. Another shot. Lee outside. Drains the three-pointer. Lee's got 5 points in the quarter.
Well, this is why Courtney Lee is easy to play with, right? He gets his offense within the flow of the system.
And so it's Oklahoma City in command with a 16-point lead as the buzzer sounds. They've had such great ball movement and shot selection, and it's led to a terrific field goal percentage. And we'll be right back after this. Let's take a listen to a recent huddle from Coach Billy Donovan.
Guys, good job hitting ahead. That means we're running, which is good, okay? We've got to pay attention right now, okay, and what we're doing coming out of timeouts.
Pushing the action, fast pace. Billy Donovan wants to keep them rolling it out.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a good job in transition. They just need to stay focused and be efficient.
And we welcome you back as we get going here in the fourth quarter. The final quarter of play can change everything. We've got Lee, Tim Hardaway Jr. out there with Ntilikina. Then there's Hernan Gomez, and it's Cantor in at the power forward position. That's the 5 for New York right now. Now here is Hardaway. Feeds to Cantor. Here's Ntilikina. Hits the front of the rim and out. The Thunder leading by 16. Here's George. No good that time. Good D by Lee. On the wing, Hardaway. Here's Cantor, and he banks in the layup. Cantor's got the fourth quarter started here with a bucket for the Knicks.
I love that Cantor will pursue rebounds out of his area. This guy's such a powerful player who's willing to exert his will. Boy, his output has been impressive today, and it doesn't look like he's done cooking just yet.
Lee against George. Out to Hardaway. That doesn't go either for Hardaway.
Boy, for a capable three-point shooter, that's one he expects to make.
Lee against George. Fouled in the act of shooting. A three-point play chance coming up.
Yeah, Kevin, there are nights where it's impossible to stop Paul George. He is such a strong guy who knows how to convert through these plays.
Greg, the one thing about Patrick Patterson out of Kentucky, he is a smart basketball player.
Yeah, he's not the best rebounder or shot blocker, but the advanced stats love him, and he gets the job done at both ends of the floor.
And New York making a change here. Porzingis has checked in.
One shot.
Doris, not too long ago, changes were made to the intentional foul rule. In your observation, has this made a positive difference?
Well, I certainly love that the away from the play fouls were extended to include the last 2 minutes of each period. I don't think you should necessarily give an advantage to a team that is playing from behind by intentionally fouling a poor free throw shooter. So that's one. I do believe now the bigger issue in the NBA has become the shooting fouls where the shooter is launching himself into a defender. I think that the NBA will take a hard look at that and make any necessary change, Kev.
Totally agree, Doris. And I don't want to pinpoint one player, but James Harden has made that an art form.
That's correct.
Here's Abrinas. Kicks to Adams. From 13, Knicks with the rebound. Porzingis has got his 7th rebound here tonight. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
To the paint, here's Hernan Gomez, and Adams sends it back. The 3 from Porzingis. That drops, and it comes off the assist from Hardaway. Hardaway has got his 6th assist on the night. Outside Westbrook. Shot off the pick. It's rebounded by New York.
That's exactly how you have to defend him. He's a guy that the D needs to be aware of at all times.
And the foul on Carmelo Anthony. That's his first foul.
Yeah, clearly he had an established position there.
Roberson, he's checked in for Alex Abrinas. Around 3 minutes gone here in the fourth quarter. Here's Hernan Gomez. Westbrook pulls it in. Westbrook's got 6 rebounds in the game. And Robertson has it in the corner. Cranes the three-pointer. And the Thunder lead by 20.
challenging this D with the 3 ball. That's his second from distance this half, and he also hit one in the first half, too.
To the inside. Shot's good by Hernan Gomez.
That's one thing about Willie. He has no trouble being aggressive, particularly when operating close.
Inside, here's Anthony, and the layup is good after a nice lead pass.
Still attacking, building on this lead coming down the stretch.
I'll tell you, he's relentless right now. He's going straight at the defense and knocking down a lot of shots in this quarter.
Doris, there are always rumblings about teams and players who don't like what the press is writing about them, trying to ban certain media members from the locker room. What's the danger, you think, in doing that?
To me, any credentialed media should never be banned from a locker room, from an opportunity to bring their fans closer to the sport, simply because you object either about the content of the coverage or the amount of coverage does not exclude a media member from the locker room. I think it's a very dangerous precedent, Kev.
Good point. Knicks trail by 20. Outside, Porzingis. He dishes it to Lee. Back to Porzingis. They double him with George. And so it's Oklahoma City with it. And it's out of bounds. They say last touch by Adams. And that'll be Oklahoma City's ball as it goes out of bounds.
That's miscommunication, and we rarely see that happen.
Oklahoma City leading by 20. Westbrook passes to George. Over Lee. Here's Roberson. The shot's good on the assist by George. Roberson's got a pair of threes here in the fourth quarter for the Thunder. The Knicks have gotten only 3 of their 9 field goal attempts to go down since the end of the third. Pretty cold down the stretch. Lee outside. There's a screen. Hernan Gomez kicks to Lee. 6 on the shot clock. In close. That counts. He's put up 13 shots, and he's had 8 of those go in.
You know, Porzingis' size obviously will make him a threat at the rim, but that athleticism a problem as well.
Here's George. Here's Roberson. Here's Anthony. Unable to get that one. Nice D from Porzingis. Here's Ntilikina. Doris, the new designated player veteran exception allows teams to pay their biggest stars much more money than any other team can offer around the league. How good is that for the league in terms of competitive balance?
Well, you would never, to me, want to see a player like LeBron James or Kevin Durant underpaid relative to their value of the team. And I think for a long time, Kevin, that was part of this. And so I'm interested in your take. I want these guys to be fairly compensated. And that's the most important thing.
I do love when a player is developed by a team and stays with that team. We see so few of those instances in pro sports, but a lifelong Pacer or a lifelong Celtic, I think to me that has great meaning, especially if I were a fan of that team.
Well, we were so used to that as kids growing up. You know, those players stuck with our team for extended periods and many times for their entire career.
Yes.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
That free throw good from Anthony. New York's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. Outside, Porzingis. Pass to Lee. Porzingis inside. Adams defending, and so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
Yeah, I think when you look at what Porzingis can do on the offensive end of the floor, you see why he is so dangerous, right? He's got a great perimeter shot. He's got unbelievable size and a great release point. And he has good control over the basketball, can put it on the deck and create for himself or his teammates. That's a lot to offer.
Shooting 2, gentlemen.
He misses the free throw. And Porzingis, who is well on his way to being one of the bigger stars in the NBA. You know, Doris, he can handle the ball well as he won the skills competition. You saw it at the 2017 All-Star Game.
Yeah, and I think if you were watching the Knicks during the regular season, it didn't surprise you. Porzingis is a guy who knows how to get some space with his jab step and his dribbling ability. His vision is improving, and to me, it looks like he has the ability to be an elite playmaking big at some point.
Well, for the last 2 decades, there have been a lot of big men coming from Europe who have been tagged as the next Dirk. A lot of lofty expectations to live up to. But Porzingis, Doris, Porzingis seems to be one who is answering that call.
Well, I think Porzingis certainly on his way to being as beloved as Dirk is, both here and back in Europe. And the reason you like the comparison, both are size and skill combined. And they have praised each other in the past, a little bit of a mutual admiration society.
2 shots.
First one falls for him. And All-Star Week, a fan favorite certainly. But Doris, I've heard you say on more than one occasion you'd love to see a 3-on-3 competition.
Kevin, I think if you're trying to learn the game of basketball, putting yourself in a situation to play 3-on-3 is one of the greatest ways you can develop your game. One, it teaches you how to pass and cut, right? You cannot be effective in a 3-on-3 game unless you understand how to screen for somebody, how to set yourself up to come off of a screen. The shorter dynamic of the 3-on-3 in a half-court environment is one of the best ways to learn how to play the game of basketball.
I love that analysis. That's terrific. Now here's Porzingis. Here's Hernangomez. And he gets the shot to fall after coming off the pick. And that's a double-double for him now. 10 points and 11 rebounds. Robertson dishes to Adams. They set the screen. Fires it up. And it's Westbrook. That time on the assist by Adams. 35 points for Russell Westbrook.
And I'll tell you, Westbrook not thrown off by a guy standing right in his grill. How about the concentration on a difficult shot?
Porzingis against Adams. And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot.
And really the past few seasons, the Thunder have just been a dominant team on the glass. They do a great job of limiting second chance points, and they get a lot of extra possessions with their own offensive rebounding.
Two.
That free throw good from Porzingis. You look over the roster of the Thunder, and it's easy to see why they're such a great rebounding team. 1 through 5 can come up with 10 boards on any given night.
And those rebounding totals usually translate to wins for this team. Very rarely do they lose a game when they're having their way on the glass. The goal at the end of the night is to play the bully in and around that painted area.
Doors with the players being so athletic and the plays happening so incredibly fast, the league is looking at maybe 4 or 5 officials. Would that just be more whistles or better officiating?
I'm glad you're chuckling about this because I don't know how the geometry of this works.
Thank you.
As it is sometimes, the size of the players seems to swallow up dimensions of the floor. Kevin, one of the things that Steve Kerr once said to me was, we are trying to make officiating a science, when in fact officiating is an art, and sometimes mistakes is part of the human dynamic. Can we leave the officials alone, please?
And I think if they're over 90% correct, which is, I think, even low in terms of success in them calling a game, that is phenomenal. And the analytics, as you know, Doris, coming from the league office, is off the charts. They've never been more detail-oriented.
Correct. The NBA officials are the best in the world. Are they perfect? No. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Let's just play on.
Here's Porzingis. Steven Adams making his last shot. Back to Porzingis. Lets the three fly. It's hauled in by Adams. Oklahoma City leading by 23. Here's Roberson. Right side, George. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist. George has got 11 points here in just the second half. The Knicks have gone only 6 of 14 from the field in the fourth. Outside, Porzingis. Doris, wearable body tracking, such as sensors the teams use to determine stress load on players' bodies, how much they run during a game, during a practice, how fast they're going. Are we taking this thing too far?
You know, it's an excellent question. Listen, technology is increasing to the point where these teams now have a greater body of information with which to work. So I think just like we see in other areas of the game, analytics relative to team success, what's a good shot, what's a bad shot, the more information, the better. I think it comes down to an organizational decision. How much stress will we put on the information given by these particular body tracking monitors? I think it's got to be on a case-by-case basis. Certainly, the organizations will use it to the best of their abilities.
But if it helps the game, helps the players stay healthy, gives teams a better compass on how to use the players, I'm all for it.
Me too, Kev. Me too.
Anthony drawing the double team. No good there. Nice D from Porzingis. New York's gone into a funk from downtown in the fourth. Only one of their 5 three-pointers has found the bottom of the bucket.
When things come together for Porzingis, he can be too much to handle for any defender.
We've got 1:55 left in the fourth quarter. George double-teamed. And so here is Oklahoma City. It's Carmelo Anthony on the wing. Guarded by Porzingis. 4 on the clock. The kick out to Westbrook. The pass to Roberson. Adams outside. Back to Roberson. Adams with the screen on Lee. And here's Westbrook from the arc. No good. Shot missing. The Knicks go the other way with it.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it. Just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Thunder.
This was a team performing to its fullest capability.
A hugely satisfying win. A game that not many will soon forget. And on the other side, one that I think most will try to forget.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And this is a great way for them to kick off this season series. 2 more games ahead, and they've taken the mental advantage with this win tonight.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Russell Westbrook.
Boy, their ball movement was terrific, and I thought he was the key to that. This guy conducted the offense, kept everyone involved, and spread the basketball.
There's the screen.
To say it's not easy to guard Russell Westbrook is an understatement. This guy's quickness and leaping ability make him a nightmare.
Russell Westbrook at the line for 2.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good.
Hasn't Russell Westbrook matured into a spectacular leader? This is a guy his teammates look up to, and what a fearless competitor, guys.
And Russell Westbrook drops them both. And so here is New York. 2-second difference between shot clock and game clock. Pick by O'Quinn. McDermott for three. Hits it from three-point range.
And guys, you got to ask, where was this effort when it mattered? The game's over now.
Right. Frustrating for sure, Greg. I don't think they'll be able to mount a comeback at this point.
Outside Westbrook. So no problem for Oklahoma City as they get the win. This one was over well before the final buzzer. The fans were waiting for something to get excited about, Greg, but they never got it.
They sure didn't. I mean, they just rolled to this win. They made it look really easy. What an efficient performance at both ends.
It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Russell, obviously you're doing a lot out there. Are there things that you even say, hey, I can do more?
I don't know, but I'm just blessed and happy on the floor with my teammates, having fun while doing it and just try to rack up some wins. We got to lean on each other, man, and come out every night and play Thunder basketball. So that's what we got to do.
Well, it got done tonight, Russell. Thank you. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.